bully slapped an elderly black woman in a diner, not knowing her son was the Mafia boss. The morning sun filtered through the Venetian blinds of Betty's diner, casting stripes of light across the worn linoleum floor. 72-year-old Grace Coleman sat in her usual booth by the window, same spot she had claimed every Tuesday morning for the past 15 years, her navy cardigan buttoned neatly, reading glasses perched on her nose. A cup of black coffee and the crossword puzzle from the morning paper spread before her. Grace had worked as a seamstress for 40 years, raised 3 children alone after her husband passed. Her hands were weathered, but her spirit was strong. She believed in treating people with dignity and expected the same in return. The diner was quiet that morning, just a few regulars, the smell of bacon and fresh coffee, the soft clatter of dishes, Betty behind the counter refilling cups and chatting with customers. Then the door swung open hard, the bell jingling violently. A man in his mid-30s strode in, tan suit, blue shirt. Everything about him screamed money and arrogance. His name was Derek Paulson, local real estate developer, the kind of man who thought his wallet made him better than everyone else. He spotted Grace in the booth and his face twisted with irritation. "Hey, old woman, that is my booth." Grace looked up calmly. "Excuse me, I said that is my booth. I sit there every Tuesday." "Move." Grace set down her pencil. "I have been sitting in this booth every Tuesday for 15 years. There are plenty of other seats." Derek's face reddened. "Do you know who I am?" "I own half the buildings on this street. When I tell you to move, you move." "Sir, I am not moving. Please find another seat." "What did you just say to me?" The diner had gone silent. Betty stood frozen behind the counter. 2 other customers watched with wide eyes. Derek leaned over the table, his voice rising. "Listen, you old hag. People like you do not tell people like me what to do. Now get your wrinkled behind out of my seat before I—" Grace met his eyes steadily. "Before you what, young man?" Derek's hand shot out. He slapped Grace across the face. The sound cracked through the diner like a gunshot. Grace's head snapped to the side. Her glasses flew off and skittered across the floor. Her cheek bloomed red. Betty screamed. One of the customers stood up, but everyone was too shocked to move. Derek straightened his jacket, smirking. "Now move." Grace touched her face. Her eyes were wet, but her voice was steady. "You just made a terrible mistake." Derek laughed. "What are you going to do?" "Call the cops. I will have this complaint buried before lunch." The door opened. 3 men walked in, all wearing dark suits. The man in front was in his early 40s. Black, tall, powerful presence. Behind him 2 more men, one black, one white. All of them moved with a kind of quiet authority that made smart people nervous. The lead man stopped. His eyes locked on Grace, on her red cheek, on her glasses on the floor. Then his gaze shifted to Derek. The temperature in the diner seemed to drop 10 degrees. Marcus Coleman walked slowly toward the booth. His voice was soft, dangerously soft. "Did you just put your hands on my mother?" Derek turned, tried to muster some bravado. "Your mother was sitting in my booth. I asked her nicely to move, and she—" Marcus held up one hand. Derek's voice died. "Let me be very clear about something. That woman you just struck raised 3 children by herself, worked her fingers to the bone sewing clothes so we could eat, taught us respect, taught us dignity, taught us that a person's worth has nothing to do with their bank account." He stepped closer. "And you walk in here like you own the world. Disrespect her, put your hands on her." Derek's face had gone pale. "Look, man, I did not know." "You did not know what?" "That she was a human being deserving of respect. That should have been enough." One of the men behind Marcus moved forward. Derek flinched. Marcus shook his head. "No, we do not solve problems that way. Not here. Not in front of my mother." He looked at Derek with absolute contempt. "Do you know who I am?" Derek shook his head weakly. "Marcus Coleman. I run operations for the Northside family. Every business on this street pays me protection, including your real estate office 3 blocks down." The color drained completely from Derek's face. "Oh, God. But here is what you do not understand. I did not build my reputation on hurting people. I built it on respect, on loyalty, on taking care of the people who matter." He gestured to Grace, who sat quietly watching. "This woman matters more than anyone in this city, and you put your hands on her. Marcus, please." "I am sorry," I did not mean, you did mean it. You meant every word. Because you think money makes you better. He pulled out his phone, made a call. His eyes never left Derek. Yeah, it is me. I need you to pull the permits on the Fletcher Street development. The Paulson project. All of them. Immediately, Derek's eyes went wide. No, please. That project is everything. I have investors. I have contracts. You should have thought about that before you slapped a 72-year-old woman in a diner. Marcus, I am begging you. Beg her. Derek turned to Grace, dropped to his knees. Ma'am, I am so sorry. Please. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Please ask your son to... Grace looked down at him, her voice quiet. You know what hurts more than this mark on my face? The fact that you saw an elderly woman and thought you could treat her like garbage. That you live in a world where you think that is acceptable. I know. You are right. I am sorry. Sorry is just a word. What matters is what you do next. She looked at Marcus. Let him key his permits. Mom. No, baby. Let him keep them. But he is going to do something for me first. Grace leaned forward. You are going to take every penny of profit from that development, and you are going to donate it to the senior center on 5th Street, the one that helps elderly folks who do not have family to look after them. You are going to make sure they have meals and activities and dignity. Derek nodded frantically. Yes, I will. I promise. And you are going to volunteer there. 1 day a week, for a year, so you can look into the faces of people you thought were beneath you. I will. I swear. Grace picked up her glasses. Put them back on, then we have an understanding. Marcus looked at his men. Make sure he follows through. If he does not, you know what to do. They nodded. Derek scrambled to his feet, backing toward the door. Thank you both. I will do everything. I promise. He fled. The diner stayed quiet for a long moment. Then Betty brought over a fresh cup of coffee. On the house, Grace. Thank you, honey. Marcus slid into the booth across from his mother. You okay, Mom? I am fine, baby. Takes more than a slap to break Grace Coleman. He smiled. I know, but nobody touches you. Nobody disrespects you. You raised me right, she said. That is what really matters. They sat together, mother and son, in the same diner where she had brought him as a boy, where she had taught him about right and wrong, about standing up for people who could not stand up for themselves. A month later, Grace visited the senior center on 5th Street. It was transformed. New furniture, fresh paint, a full kitchen, activities every day, and there in the corner helping serve lunch was Derek Paulson. He saw her, walked over, eyes downcast. Miss Coleman. She nodded. You are keeping your promise, every week, and I am learning things, about people, about respect, about what really matters. Good. He looked at her. I was raised to think money meant power. But you taught me something different. Real power is how you treat people when nobody is watching. Grace smiled. Then maybe something good came from something bad after all. She walked away, greeting the other seniors, laughing with them, bringing light wherever she went. Outside, Marcus waited by the car. She is something else, his associate said. She is everything, Marcus replied. And anyone who forgets that learns the hard way. The diner on Fletcher Street still stands today. Grace still sits in her booth every Tuesday. The crossword puzzle, the black coffee, the same gentle dignity, and every person who walks through that door knows the story of the woman who faced down a bully with grace, and the son who made sure respect meant something. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it with someone who needs to be reminded that true strength comes from character, not cruelty. Subscribe for more stories that celebrate dignity, respect, and the unbreakable bond between mothers and sons. And comment below to tell us about a time when someone stood up for you or when you stood up for someone else. Your story matters.